Good morning to everybody. Welcome to online video lecture class of medical biochemistry. Here I am presenter Dr. Shubir Kumar Mondol, Assistant Professor Biochemistry Department, Ad-Dinakiz Medical College and Hospital, Khulna, Bangladesh. Previously, I discussed about glycolysis and several steps and inhibitors of glycolysis. I told you previously there are several types of blockers in vitro level and in vivo level. We already know in vitro there is a blocker which is known as fluoride that will block enolase enzyme of glycolysis, and in vivo level there was a blocker which is known as iodoacetate that will increase ATP level and citrate condition and act as the important blocker or inhibitors of any types of glycolysis. So now today we will discuss the oxidation of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA. It is the important steps of carbohydrate metabolism. We know pyruvate will be converted or oxidized to acetyl-CoA, and here reduced coenzyme will be used, NAD2ACE, from oxidized form of nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide that will be reduced to form nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide 2 hydrogen or NAD2ACE. Here thiamine pyrophosphate act as a coenzyme in this important reaction, oxidation of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA. So what are the salient features of oxidation of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA? Here is substrate is pyruvate, product is acetyl-CoA, site all cells and tissues, compartment will be mitochondria, nature catabolic, ATP production 6 ATP from 2 pyruvate. We know pyruvate will be produced from glycolysis. So here is 6 ATP from 2 pyruvate. Significance linker of glycolysis with TCA cycle. Now what is TCA cycle or citric acid cycle? TCA cycle or tricarboxylic acid cycle is the cyclical sequence of reactions in mitochondria that oxidizes acetyl-CoA with production of reduced coenzymes and carbon dioxide. This is the important cycle in carbohydrate metabolism because it will link all types of foodstuffs metabolism, carbohydrate, protein, fat. These all foodstuff will be directly linked with this cycle. So salient features of TCA cycle: substrate acetyl-CoA here, product reduced coenzymes, carbon dioxide, ATP, site all cells and tissue, compartment basically mitochondria. Nature will be amphibolic, both catabolic and anabolic nature will be found in this cycle. Coenzyme needed thiamine pyrophosphate, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, flavin adenine dinucleotide, coenzyme A, lipoic acids. ATP production 10 or 12 according to calculation, on the basis of calculation. Specialty, it is the most common metabolic pathway because it links all types of foodstuffs metabolism, carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. It will be the directly linked up with them. So from one turn of TCA cycle we will get 3 NAD2ACE, 1 FAD2ACE, 1 ATP or GTP and 2 carbon dioxide from one turn of TCA cycle. So overall ATP production from TCA cycle will be calculated. Generation at respiratory chain through 3 NAD2ACE we will get 9 ATP. Generation at respiratory chain through 1 FAD2ACE 2 ATP. Generation at substrate level we will get 1 ATP. Total 12 ATP per acetyl-CoA, but full cycle completion we will get 24 ATP. Total ATP production now, total ATP production from complete oxidation of 1 mole glucose. This is the most important for written and viva, this calculation. So in aerobic condition we already know glycolysis 2 type, aerobic glycolysis and anaerobic glycolysis. So from aerobic glycolysis level, from glycolysis we will get 8 from conversion of pyruvate to acetyl-CoA 6 ATP. From 2 turn of TCA cycle we will get 24 ATP. Total ATP production from oxidation of 1 mole glucose will be 38 ATP. Important criteria of TCA cycle. Oxaloacetate is the main catalyst of TCA cycle. TCA cycle is a common metabolic pathway and TCA cycle is a amphibolic pathway. These three important criteria basically important for viva and written. Acetate is the main catalyst of TCA cycle because oxaloacetate start the cycle. And cycle will be end through the formation of new oxaloacetate. So oxaloacetate is always called the common catalyst or main catalyst of TCA cycle. TCA cycle is a common metabolic pathway because this cycle comprises of two types of cycle, anabolic pathway or anabolic cycle and catabolic pathway or catabolic cycle. TCA cycle is a common metabolic pathway because this important cycle will be linked up all types of foodstuffs. Basically carbohydrate, protein and fat will be completely metabolized through this cycle. That's why TCA cycle is called common metabolic pathway. Now, what are the sources and fates of pyruvate? Sources of pyruvate: glucose oxidation via glycolysis, lactic acid oxidation, catabolism of glucosenic amino acid. We know pyruvate will be converted to lactate in anaerobic condition and lactate will be converted to pyruvate. This is the reversible reaction. We know this type of reaction. So, what are the metabolic fates of pyruvate? Metabolic fates of pyruvate will be conversion to lactate, synthesis of alanine, synthesis of glucose, conversion to oxaloacetate, conversion to acetyl-CoA. These are the important fates of pyruvate. Now, gluconeogenesis. What is gluconeogenesis? Gluconeogenesis is the basic process by which glucose or glycogen will be produced from non-carbohydrate precursors. Gluconeogenesis is the process by which glucose or glycogen will be produced from the non-carbohydrate precursors. This is the most important metabolic pathway by which pathway we always get energy during starving period or during starvation. So, what are the non-carbohydrate precursors in gluconeogenesis? Glucogenic amino acid, pyruvate, lactate, glycerol, intermediates of TCA cycle and propionate. This is the complete list of non-carbohydrate precursors. So, what are the enzymes of gluconeogenesis? We know there are irreversible steps in glycolysis, but those irreversible steps will be reversible during gluconeogenesis. So, what are the enzymes? Pyruvate carboxylase enzyme, phosphoenol pyruvate carboxykinase, fructose 1,6 bisphosphatase, glucose 6 phosphatase enzyme are the responsible agent to convert irreversible reaction to reversible during gluconeogenesis. Now, Cori cycle or lactic acid cycle. We know in anaerobic glycolysis steps, maximum pyruvate will be converted to lactate. And when our body produces enormous amount of lactate, there is possibility of arising lactic acidosis. Lactic acidosis most fatal conditions of human being. That's why the main creator creates a beneficial cycle which is known as Cori cycle that reduce the bad effect or hazardous effect of lactic acid in our body. Basically, Cori cycle, through this cycle, excess lactate will be converted to glucose inside our body. That's why we will be free from the lactic acidosis. Here glucose will be produced from excess lactate. That lactate produced from anaerobic glycolysis. We know our several body cells, especially red blood cell or RBC, will always produce lactate, but there isn't any lactic acidosis inside our body. Why? Because of this Cori cycle. This is the blessings from God, obviously. So, importance of Cori cycle. What are the importance of Cori cycle? Prevents lactic acid accumulation and lactic acidosis. Lactic acid is disposed in liver through gluconeogenic pathway. So, congenital deficiency of any gluconeogenic enzymes leads to lactic acidosis. Now, glucose-alanine cycle. Glucose-alanine cycle also important, and it is commonly found in carbohydrate metabolism and in several types of exam. Importance of glucose-alanine cycle are the allows muscle glycogen to contribute glucose supply to blood during starvation. We know when glycogenolysis occur inside our body, muscle glycogen don't perform the blood glucose level homeostasis directly. So, when muscle glycogen wants to perform the blood glucose level homeostasis, so there is only one option, which is glucose-alanine cycle, by which muscle glycogen to contribute blood glucose level homeostasis. It also allows transfer of amino group from muscle to liver to convert it into urea, and urea then will be excreted from our body through urine. Now, ASMP shunt, it is most important, or hexose monophosphate shunt. ASMP shunt is an alternate pathway to glycolysis and TCA cycle for the oxidation of glucose. There are several peculiarities in this cycle because there is oxidation of glucose, but there aren't any production of any ATP. However, ASMP shunt is concerned with the biosynthesis of NADPase and pentose, and from this cycle or from this pathway we will get pentose sugar, important sugar for formation of nucleotides, and NADP2ase. This is the important substrate or products we always get from this cycle. So, what are the importance of this cycle or products which will be get from this cycle? It is called pentose phosphate pathway because it synthesizes pentose sugar or pentose phosphate. It is called alternative pathway of glucose oxidation because glucose will be oxidized through alternate way without production of any ATP through this cycle. It is called ASMP shunt because it branches from glycolytic path at the level of glucose 6-phosphate. It is called shunt because pentose formed from glucose 6-phosphate are recycled back to the midstream or mainstream of glycolysis by conversion into glycolytic intermediates. Importance: provides ribose sugar for synthesis of nucleotides that are important for formation of nucleic acid, and provides NADP2ase that performs several types of important functions inside our body, help in synthesis of fatty acid, steroid, cholesterol, etc. Support detoxifying functions of liver by hydroxylation of toxic water soluble, insoluble aromatic aliphatic substances, prevent hemolysis, help in synthesis of nitric oxides, endothelial destabilizing factor, help in reduction of hydrogen peroxide. These are the important functions of NADP2ase inside our body. Now, what is glycogenesis? Glycogenesis is the synthesis of glycogen from glucose. When there is abundant glucose inside our bloodstream, then excess glucose will be converted to glycogen inside liver and muscle. Thus, our blood glucose level will be normalized. This is the basic process of glycogenesis, and glycogenesis is stimulated by insulin hormone. Advantage of storing glucose as glycogen: glycogen exerts less osmotic pressure and prevents osmotic lysis of cell. That's why glucose at 400 millimole per liter concentration exerts high osmotic pressure, but if the same amount of glucose is stored as glycogen, the glycogen concentration appears to be 0.01 micromole per liter only, which haven't any osmotic effect to cell. In the form of glycogen, large amount of glucose can be stored within the cell without disturbing the osmotic equilibrium of cell. Glycogen possesses high energy value than glucose. These all are the advantages of storing glucose as glycogen inside our body and liver and muscle. Now, what is glycogenolysis? Glycogenolysis is opposite of glycogenesis. Breakdown of glycogen to form glucose or to glucose is called glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis stimulated by the all types of hormone except insulin. When we are starving or when our blood glucose level below than normal, then this process will be happened, glycogenolysis, and it will help normalize our blood sugar level, glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis perform the important role inside our body when our blood glucose level will be diminished or decreased. Now there is important topic in carbohydrate metabolism, glycogen storage diseases. There are several types of glycogen storages. All students have to know. Von Jarkis disease, Pompe's disease, and Anderson disease, myocardial disease, heart disease. These all are the glycogen storage diseases. These diseases will be developed due to several types of enzyme defect or enzyme anomaly or enzyme deficiency. That's all for today. Thank you for patient sharing. Hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you for patient sharing. Many thanks.